Hello guys, how are you doing? This is J Statistics, and in today's video on the Not So Quick Analysis series, we're going to talk about OG on the Nuke. They are very interesting. I really like on how they play the CT and the T side because they play very slow sometimes on the CT and then mix with some quick aggressions. And also there's the case of Nicoodoz because he's a WP that doesn't play with the WP. Like Zayu, he's a more standard rifle. And this opens a lot of opportunities for OG because they doesn't need to rely on heavy economies, on heavy saves like Vision does, like another teams also does, like Navi does sometimes. So they can play slow, they can play with low economy, and I really like. And also the addition of Adam B makes a lot of sense on how they play. Does another extremely good player. Really like does my almost a countryman because he's Portuguese after all. So moving on the CT profile, as I said, they play slow and no AWP. And how they play slow is how they difference them from another teams because they play this upside region setup as I'm gonna show on the A side. This up. I don't know how you guys call this in English. I prefer to call ledge. Because he plays on this part of the map. So he's always on the upside of Rose does. And also this transition of how they choose to play this side is very important because Nicoodoz plays Heaven as a natural position, even though he doesn't have the WP. So he'll play with the rifle on the ledge position or falling up this side, this part of the map also. Then returning to the A side, for the yard side. So they open the yard because Chrisine is an excellent entry. He plays a lot of aggressions on the yard. So he will pop off from the A man position, take the aggression on the yard, and then move back. And how the profile makes. Because they have the 3A setup, as all that I said, Nicoodoz, Arroz Doce, and then Chrisine, and also we fortunately put with Spooky here, playing behind this box right here. He plays a lot behind this box. The same way 3D Max Plus plays behind box. And then closing also the profile, we have Adam B. Adam B plays a ramp, but he plays a passive ramp. He plays behind the box. He isn't a very active player, like closing out the radar JT, this side of the map, or sometimes the boost. No, he plays behind box. And it is because on how the team is forcing the opposite side of the map. So he doesn't need to go for these entry kills. In fact, he is the lowest entry attempted duels of the CT side from Geo, with only 6%, if not mistaken, on this current roster. Now the default. The default is the summarize of everything I said on the profile. Nicoodoz on the Heaven plus Locker position, very open position, taking out the aggression for the yard. Crazy alone on the A main. Meanwhile, you have Arroz Doce on the ledge position. Spooky playing on the silo, but he also transitions towards the behind box. And the way they're forcing these rotations on the A side makes the smoke plays adjust because they doesn't rely on heavy Molotovs keeping out to the pressure. So they can smoke the radar JIT, the lobby position, this part of the map right here. And then this quick JIT to open the vent because since Spook is playing more open, he can control the vent position. So the T's will need to smoke vent instead of the CT abusing the CT smoke, abusing this Molotov, the T's will push. And now the garage position, this is a position that I saw a few times. And I don't know if you guys can hear the circles is moving the car with the sound. But anyway, moving on. The garage position. The garage position is a shift from heaven towards the garage. And then Nicoodoz will play with the rifle, sometimes with the LP, most likely with the rifle. And this HI, this name that you see like lost here, that is because this is the place for the T's smoke wall. The two smoke one here. So they will break the smoke and then first Crazy to go in and out of his position. That's why Spook is more near, more closer for the A man because he can also move around and trade Crazy death in case he dies or forces another kill. So the core idea is Crazy you move yard and then take the kills. Try the kills, try this open his dispense and shoot starts the smoke and then return. Because this is how they play. They play defensive, they play slow. So you go quick and out, in and out. And since, as I said, these aggressions all over this part of the map concentrate on the yard position towards the A man. Adam B is low range behind the box, waiting for the movement with a smoke to protect him. Now the AWP ramp. The AWP ramp is an unorthodox approach for the AWP ramp. I said 2 times, but it is because the traditional way to play this position is not on the side like Nicoodoz is playing. It's behind the box. sits in the upper box position near the boost, more open, more aggressive, and he starts this side of the map. Nicoodoz no. Nicoodoz prefers to play on the side. And the reason he plays to the side is to quick move because they like it to play slow. So he needs to stay the control of the map. And they need to slow down the times from the T side. They need to make this content slow pushes. And this is emphasis with the movement from Adam B because Adam B now is on the half position, but is the heaven of the ledge position, moving out on this part of the map so he can quickly return to heaven, go back and then connect towards the A side of the map, to the ramp side that is this car position. And since the team is all aggression on this part of the map, with your host dust above the silo position, the silo inside the A bomb side, Crazy can lurker because he doesn't need to play defensive. The team's already holding this position. He plays free. And when he plays free, he makes success. Crazy with all the freedom of the map on the yard position, will take out the kills. So if you want to counter OG, make sure to always have one lurker on the yard position because Crazy will exploit this position. He'll get the kills, he'll push the advantage, he'll push for the 5v4 position, the 4v3 positions. So Crazy is a core player of how they play this yard position, even though the main position of the talking about is the AWP Ramp. Now for the dual yard, I saw this position a few times and I really like on how they play because, it's a sync move. Each player needs to trust each other, otherwise this play is gonna fail. So, like, I don't know how to properly say this in English, but no one left the hands of the other players, you keep the hands together, hold hands and move together, always together. And this is how they move because we see the B for a few times taking out the enter duel, taking out the advantage, pushing the round. So he plays near the radar G, very close position, very aggressive. Meanwhile, on the yard position, we see the Spook move out from the A side. He doesn't belong to the A side. He plays the A main, that is the Crazy position. Nicoodoz will play together with Crazy, taking out this aggression, pushing, even without the utility. Sometimes they say Molotov on this part of the map, but most of the time, no. But either way, they push this aggressive position on the yard position and then go back. And that's the part of it. You hold the hand of your friend and you move your friend. Each one for a position, each one in the sync, because if Nicoodoz move first and then Crazy is open on the wild of the yard position, he will die. And the same goes on the opposite side. If Crazy returns first for the secret position and then Nicoodoz is open, you die. So they move together. They need to have the sync move and the trust of each other. They're gonna move and hold their angle to defend each other. And sometimes this doesn't happen. There are players, they're humans, they are prone to make mistakes. That's why you have the backup from Spook. So Spook has the chance to connect, with this three player like a triangle. And now for the last position of the CT side, I saw this position in the OT against Bet Boom. They played this, if not wrong, 2 times this OT position. And I really like it. And just to be clear, this isn't a position that I think they will do constantly, but this is one of those that took out the attention of me, It highlights something that isn't the pattern, the movement that if they do, at least and it is a fun position. And the way this fun position occurs is that Nicoodoz is starting with the ramp position. So he starts ramp with the help of Adam B. Then quick rotates towards the back vent position, So he's gonna take out this duel on the secret position. And in this position, Crazy, instead of playing on the yard position, he will have to switch places with Nicoodoz in the same way that I showed before, that when Nicoodoz plays ramp and Adam B goes heaven, Crazy take the heaven position, the yard position. So he'll control the yard to collect the information, to make the call. Maybe 1, 2, 3 CTs are going to have the smoke wall. Maybe no one is on the smoke wall. There's needs an utility. And this makes Nicoodoz react, because if there isn't a lot of movement, you hold your angle on the secret position, the back vent position, That's why you need to hold this position. And I really like it because it's rude, but it works. And if it works, why not? Now, just take a deep breath. As I always said, I speak fast. I don't take the briefs to talk, so sometimes I run off my voice. Remember to subscribe. So just gonna, click on the subscribe. I currently have 225 subscribers on the channel with almost 70 videos. Really like on how this playing out. Just the day before yesterday, Sponge even quoted, not quoted, asked about a profile who make analysis on the Halo TV. And as I said on the Twitter, small victories, there is a small improvement that I make. It makes me happy. So if you like the content, remember to subscribe. There is a cool fee open if you want to support the channel. All the links are in the description. So that's it. Moving on from the T side now. The T profile they play different from the CT because if the CT was slow, now it's aggression. Well, is even the players on how they play aggressive, you swap it. Like Adam B is the lowest TCT entry attempt on the OG. Now he's the second highest because he takes out the duels from lobby position from the radio agility. So they will move in two sides, this part of the map, and then the yard lurk. And this to work, they have to make this short smoke wall. When I say short smoke wall, it's this smoke wall right here instead of the standard, the default that happens in this part of the map. So they prefer to move more back. So they control lob, they make this yard lurk with always one or two players making this part of the map lurking around towards the secret to even engage from the secret to B when you're gonna show attacks from the secret to B, and also from the secret to A when you move it back vent and then up. Sorry, up here, right here in this part. Now the yard A position, very standard to play. Crazy is open the above hut position, above main position, so he's above this house, as you may call. Nicoodoz is above the side position. Sorry, Spook in this position, not Crazy. Crazy is open. And then Crazy is taking out the short smoke to run to a secret. So they play this triangle of the offense right here with the idea of, since they have the high ground of the position, they will transition start at the A side because they are already controlling the garage and secret position. So they control this part of the map. It is easier to rotate towards the A man, is entering by the squeak with two players, with the Arroz Doce plus Adam B taking out the flank position, the rampage hit in case the cheese push him, or even go larger towards heaven. So they open the possibility of attack on the A side, but mostly are from the A man. But remember, heaven is always a position when the cheese have the control from the yard position, and they like to make this control. Now yard to B position. In the yard to B position, they have four players on the outside position now because they doesn't rely on that and B makes out this control on the ramp, makes out this move on the ramp because they're already going to attack the ramp by the secret. So it's better to have one player more and this player will trade or the B will take out the initiative to take out these duels. And the player left alone is Hosdos. The reason why he is in this quick position is that because since the main goal of the yard to B is to attack the B side, and that's why you have the B on the name, he can go drop back vent. And every time these players drop on the back vent, they make chaos. It's for sure. They're gonna lurk the position. They will force the CTs to hold weird angles because the main attack is on one side, so they have to have another player on the back side. This is split out the defensive on the bomb side. It's read for positions for the CT. So that is always nice to have this back vent lurk. I really like things like this. So props out to OG doing this. Meanwhile, the main attack, as I said, standard. You smoke the wall, short wall smoke, sometimes here on the default smoke that is closer to right here and right here. And then move fast. And that's the position. Now for the quick rushes, for the quick attacks, just a few highlights of how they do this part of the map. Spook moving alone on the secret position as the main lurker. Meanwhile, something that I saw they doing quite a few times and I really like on the consistency of doing this is this cruising position on the silo. No, he starts silo and then moving. Sorry, this smoke wasn't supposed to be here. Ignore this smoke. So he's starting on the silo position. Take out the few ends, the few controls duels, make the garage entry open, the secret entry open, and then quickly return for the lobby control. So they start to control the lobby with 4 players after this quick entry attempt. And then they will progress towards the round. Because in the A attack, even though Spooky is going from the secret position, remember he can go up on the back vent position. There is also this possibility of going up on the back vent and moving right here. And that's why we have the Molotov on the box behind, that is the position that Spooks plays naturally on the CT side. And how they're gonna open the A side is by a split. This split, Adam B goes hut, Nicoodoz plus Arroz Doce, maybe sometimes Crazy will open quick. So they have two players right here, two players right here. Maybe one player in case they already down one player in case Prison dies in this entry attempt. So they attack the A side on a split position. I really like because when they split, Adam B is the first player. No, he's the entry player for this position. Even though the entry kill already happened, the spearhead of the A attack is Adam B. So pay attention. Adam B will try these duels with the T side and he will win these duels most of the time with the AK. He's an excellent player. He can also play with the Galil. But his AK is deadly. The Swedish player is on fire this time on OG and really like this performance overall. Now rank to be. In the rank to be, this is a player that we saw a lot of times doing this. We saw this movement happening a lot of times. And every single time they do this, every single team do this, it is hard for the CTs to control because it is fast, low economy with the Tech 9, sometimes with the Galil, sometimes with a FAMAS that they took from the CT. And because of that, we have two positions from Spook because Spook can either play on the secret position, as on the I showed right here on the attack A. And that's why you have a more sparsely smoking, because they try to connect the smoke on this position. Because the T's will usually break out this smoke right here instead of the secondary smoke, they break the first smoke. So Spook is more open for this position, waiting for this break to happen. And when they attack, they have the Molotov on the side part of the map, waiting for on the CT's movement, because this is the Nicoodoz position on the ramp. And how they push with the core players right here is to push ramp and then engage and split on this part of the map. And the reason why we have a secondary Spook is that sometimes he's in yard, They started with him, they go secret, they go attack ramp, but there is never time in the case. And once again, he opens back vent. The deadly back vent. OG likes to exploit this with one player. They always like this thread of having the mind game, Is there OG player on the back vent or not? So in the debut, hold the angle, for quite a few time, play slow, play more reactive because OGT side is fast and OGT side is deadly. They have good T players to make these entries, this make choke points to work out. And that's why they doesn't need to throw utility on the ramp, only on the side, because with 4 players, they are guaranteed to take at least 1 kill or at least a secondary trade, especially because on how the teams they play against. Because something that is very important to say and something that sometimes people forget is that I talk about the strategy, but more important than talk about the strategy is knowing the opponents. And in the tier 2 CS, this fast attack work better, because it's hard to roll it's hard to make the players make out in the synchronous position. It's hard to make the players who play together. And that's it. Hope you enjoy the content. OG, very interesting team. They are converting an old truth to make the tournaments because they really want to push out this Valve ranking system, the VRS. So they're gonna play a lot. You're gonna see a lot of OGs in the future, right in this month, this final push. And I really respected this grind because I know that if play a lot of maps like they pretend to play, and they also will travel for the local lands, like the Rig event, if I'm not wrong, they'll play event in NAA. If not, they're gonna play the Frag Delphi. But Nicoodoz actually made the Twitter with the locations they're gonna play. It is wild, they travel a lot. And I speak by fact because Brazil is a huge country, and I know that travel, like they're going to travel, this takes a toll in their mind. It is hard to travel, it's hard to maintain consistency, it's hard to maintain the game level with this amount of travel they're gonna do. So I wish all the luck to the road for the players. I'm counting on you guys. Good luck. The players are awesome. And that's it. Bye bye. See you soon.